Audience member calls 911 after Middle Eastern comment made at comedy show in Naples.
Okay, and they arrested the person that made the call, right?
This is a Florida man, isn't it?
Florida man called 911 on a comedian.
Yeah, he should fucking be arrested for wasting police
Well, how do
time.
you know, Scotty? You don't even know what what he called about yet.
It said a comedy club. I imagine it was a joke.
Comedian. His name is Ahmed. As the people raised their names, they said.
Hold on, let's listen to the full tape because he provides a lot more context.
Okay,
to
Oh
the
God,
story.
but it's so boring.
It's not boring, Paul.
It is.
It's very important that you understand.
That supercut is better, TJ. Just watch that.
No, because I don't know. All right, fine. I guess I'll default to you on this.
I mean, you can explain a little bit better than
Hey,
he does.
TJ.
I'm from.
Shut up, Scotty.
So
No, TJ, I just want to point out, dude, Paul runs you now.
I guess
Paul,
so.
bitch.
let me just tell you what happened.
Okay, sure.
He goes to this fucking comedy club. The fucking comedian is Ahmed. He asks if there's any Middle Easterners in the audience, and obviously because he is a Middle Easterner, there's a few.
The reason I wanted to play his original fucking phone call is because the guy who calls in feels the need to explain I guess there was a lot of Middle Easterners there because his name was Ahmed, and the only reason I was there is because I got a free ticket, and that's the only reason I was there.
Right.
He's real scared.
Oh, dude.
Anyway, Paul,
go ahead. And we can probably play this. He asks. He asked the people to raise their hands if they're from the Middle East.
And I'm from here, I'm from there. He said, that's great. He said, we could organize our own little terrorist organization.
That is the...
Uh-oh.
It's a joke.
Nuh-uh.
It's a joke.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it is.
Nuh-uh.
They're at a comedy show. They're not at a fucking mosque.
Ahmed.
They're at a comedy show.
Specifically asked why all those Muslims were there, dude.
He publicly said this is a joke. If Ahmed was really interested in setting up a terrorist organization, would he go to a comedy show, have people buy a ticket, and then fucking go and make a joke like that? It was just a joke.
You're so blue-pilled on this, Scotty, dude. You don't understand what's really going on. Look, what do you see a lack of around America? Mosques, right?
No,
they don't have. I know that there's mosques around here, but they're not anywhere near as accessible as a Christian church would be.
Well, no.
Right. So they're using the comedy clubs.
Right. So they need a place to train and radicalize the youth. And what better place than Yuck Yucks down the street with the fucking 50-cent draft beer happy hour?
God, he's right.
I'm onto this, dude.
What's this video down below, dude?
What's this?
Okay, this is Ahmed's.
This is Ahmed's Twitter.
Sure.
So, do you want to tell them what's going on here?
I should tell you what's going on? Well, I'm not even sure.
You're the owner. I'm looking, my hands are shaking.
What's going
so
on
funny.
after all 20-some-odd years of having a comedy club? We've never had someone call the police on anybody's set before, but this is new, so this is interesting. We're all curious as to we're supposed to be handling this, but I think you can continue with your set.
Well, these two officers here.
I don't really know.
The cops are taking this so serious. All right, I guess.
No.
I guess we technically have to go investigate this.
Wow.
Sir, are you in fact planning to organize a terrorist organization here? Yes, I am. Of course.
No, that was actually a joke.
Something.
By the way, the point of the joke totally proven true and valid by this retard who called 911.
Yeah, I hope.
Because the whole point of the joke is, this is how we're perceived by people. Ha ha ha! Isn't that ridiculous? And then this guy's like, "Uh-oh!
I
think I just walked into an Al Qaeda meeting."
I hope that this dude is fined for these officers' time and for the time of the fucking operator, at least.
He's not gonna be. He's not,
because that's just a fucking utter waste of public fucking resources right there.
He said the cops. If you read his tweet below, he said even the cops were like, "What the fuck is this? Why were we called?" It's just ridiculous.
What an idiot.
God, just ban this guy from all comedy shows, dude.
Seriously.
He can never. If he's so dumb, he can't figure out that's a fucking joke. He doesn't belong there.
You know what, dude?
What?
After that Alabama story, I just had an idea.
What's that?
Why don't we just leave Alabama but make it like Dumbtopia?
Oh. Yeah.
Where it's like they don't get to affect any national law, but we don't tell them that. You know what I mean?
Right.
We treat them in public like they're oh yeah.
And then whenever there's an election or something, we can be like, all right, so the electoral college tallies are
Alabama gets 10 special points.
91 to 420, and
yep.
And of course, Alabama's 17 special points go here. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I'm like, yeah, our points is special.
Yeah, we got 17 points.
And then we just start, sending the dumbs there to live amongst one another.
And we can
under their own rules.
We gotta get the people in Alabama who unfortunately shouldn't be there because they're too smart to live there out.
They gotta. Well, yeah, we'll let them know this is happening.
Right. We gotta. We'll have someone come on TV and say it in a way that only smart people would understand.
Fuck that. We'll hide the instructions under a bar of soap.
There you go. Well, then I wouldn't see it. Fuck you.
Well, you don't need to see it, TJ.
I'm not in Alabama anymore.
You're a ringleader.
I'm just saying that hygiene and fucking intelligence don't necessarily go hand in hand.
Okay, TJ. All right. Your point is made, TJ.
I say we get the architect from the Matrix to come do his big erudite speech, but in the process let people know that fucking Alabama is now a sanctuary for the dumbs. I don't think Alabama's big enough to house all of America's dumbs.
I mean, there's a lot of wilderness we drove through that could be carved out. We could build all kinds of, dumbopolis.
Yeah.
Retardopia.
Yeah, and they'd be happier there.
Maronia.
They have a nice little coast area, too. They can still go to the beach
Yeah.
and
The
stuff.
coastal area could have like a Latin flavor. We could call it idiota.
Idiota.
You know what I mean?
We're giving them a beach. We're giving them some mountains
get
at the
some
top of the
beach.
state.
Yeah,
I mean, they're getting hills.
I think
they're
they will.
everything.
They'll be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Retardtopia is coming, dude.
Yeah, let's do it. Trump's not going to do it, but next time we have a good president, if that ever happens again, we need to write them our proposal.
Yeah, Dumbtopia needs to happen for sure.
Dumbtopia. It's going to be awesome. Southwest passenger kicked off flight for making vodka joke. This is actually kind of like part of a joke block that I've got of people getting in trouble for jokes.
Oh, I see, TJ. Look at that.
So a Southwest Airlines passenger was removed from a flight at Sacramento International Airport last week after jokingly asking a flight attendant if the water being handed out was vodka.
As he should
Why
be.
was he kicked off the flight?
According to KTXL, the May 8th flight from Sacramento, California to Austin, Texas by way of Los Angeles had been delayed for several hours because of a maintenance light and the subsequent need to refuel when flight attendants began to pass out water to passengers. He said something like, they should be passing out vodka because we've been waiting so long. Passenger Peter Uzelak, told KTXL, referring to the unidentified man's witty remark. Uzelak said the flight attendant, who he described as young, was not amused. She came by and was like, I don't think that, and I didn't like your joke. Then my
Who
wife
fucking cares?
Then my wife tried to butt in and say, look, we've all been in this plane for hours. And she says, well, so have I. Get used to it, added Uzelak. Then all of a sudden I see her on the telephone up in front.
So this chick was all salty, feeling all shitty, heard somebody make a fucking joke, got mad about it, and decided to use her pull to fuck with them.
Yeah, after this dude, imagine that. You're on a plane waiting to take off for hours. You make a fucking joke about vodka, and then you're kicked off by some snooty bitch flight attendant. And people started yelling then. In fact, people stood up. I stood up. People were saying this man didn't do anything. The man wasn't charged with any crime, but the incident promoted Uzelak to file a complaint with Southwest against the flight attendant. If they have this in their records, maybe it will prevent this from happening again.
No,
it won't. I have been flying for decades, and I've never seen anything like this.
It's because now people feel like that if you say anything that's offensive to them, and they can use it against you, and you know what?
This is just tumblerinas are starting to spill out into the world.
That's
and
exactly
actually
what it is.
try to apply their standards to real life.
All she has to say to the pilot, people's, I don't feel comfortable having this person on the flight.
Oh, kick him off.
Oh, dude,
Yep,
scroll
he's
back
gone.
down again and listen to the robotic-ass fucking response that Southwest sent him.
Regret.
We regret any less than positive experience a customer has on board our aircraft. We welcome over 100 million customers each year, and we aim to maintain the comfort of all.
While? What?
While.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
More proof it was written by a fucking bot.
Yeah, thanks,
We
AI.
regret any less than positive experience a customer has on board our aircraft.
Oh, sorry. I guess it's just a weird break
While
in the fucking while delivering.
delivering Southwest hospitality.
Yeah.
We share this report with our customer relations team, the airline said.
Yeah, we shared the report.
Wow.
We shared it around.
Bullshit. They didn't do anything.
How about we fired this flight attendant, and here's some free miles.
Yeah, that would be an actually good response.
Yeah, if
Your
this
next
person actually
trip's on
did
us.
something, that's one thing.
Right-wing comedian's prison sentence sparks free speech debate in Bolsonaro's Brazil.
Oh, well, let's just say it's dead.
Rio de Janeiro. Danilo Gentili, probably pronouncing that wrong, sorry, is one of Brazil's most popular and most offensive comedians with a late-night talk show and a massive Twitter following. A typical Gentili joke might speculate about this man's sexual orientation or deride that woman's weight.
So he's an edgelord.
Right. But a burst of tweets against a congresswoman, at one point he implied she was a prostitute, proved too vulgar for Brazil's legislatures.
Uh-oh.
And in 2017, he was ordered to delete the offensive tweet. So in
my
characteristic response, he tore the order into pieces and rubbed them on his genitals in a video that went viral.
Good for him.
This guy's awesome, dude.
In the view of the Brazilian judiciary, Gentili had gone too far, and this month a court ordered him jailed for 6 months. The judge found that Gentili's action was intended to offend and never to be confused with a simple piece of spontaneous humor. Gentili has cast himself as a martyr to political correctness. I think you guys have cast him as that by putting him in jail for a joke.
Yep.
I never imagined one day being sentenced to prison for protesting against censorship, he tweeted. He is appealing, and legal analysts say he's unlikely to see the inside of a cell, but the line between offensive and criminally offensive has become a central issue. Here, let me help you out. There's no line.
Yeah.
There's no line.
There's
no
no-
such
there-
criminally offensive is a distinction that shouldn't fucking exist.
Giving offense is never criminal. There's never a point where it's a criminal offense, ever.
Brazilian law, which is largely modeled on the U.S. system, includes in its constitution echoes of the First Amendment's guarantee of freedom of expression, but a criminal provision that allows penalties for those who disrespect public officials opens a loophole
that
for
should not be
censorship.
a law.
Yeah,
Disrespect
you can't
public
have a First
officials?
Amendment if there's also a rule against disrespecting public officials.
The president is a fucktard. You've disrespected this politician. You can now go to jail. That's censorship. That's saying you can't criticize those above you. That's ridiculous.
Fuck you, Brazil. Brazil. So anyway, I just thought you guys might like to know what a tough world it is for jokes. Whether it's Muslim comedians getting paranoid right-wingers to call the cops on them, or it's Tumblerina flight attendants imposing their will on the passengers, or it's right-wing comedians being censored in Brazil. It's a dangerous time for jokes, ladies and gentlemen. So you better put on your straight, serious faces.
You might say something,
No
TJ.
smiles, no laughs.
You might say something that hurts someone's feelings.
Yeah, and if
that's
you do,
not okay.
If you do,
I mean, and from a certain perspective, too, this is the most hilarious time ever.
right?
So it's doubly sad that, we're seeing
Dude,
crackdowns.
I
on
literally
humor.
so on my Twitter, you know that joke I did earlier about how 90% of the pregnancies in Alabama are incest and rape.
Yeah.
I put that joke on Twitter, and someone actually responded. Actually, only 2% of pregnancies
God.
result from incest and rape.
I think we did a show about that person on
I think
last
we
Friday.
did. I think we did. I'm like, fuck you. Ugh.
It's like joke overhead.
TJ,
It's not even overhead. It's not even. He doesn't even exist on the same plane of reality as the fucking joke.
I warned you on Twitter, TJ. I'm gonna warn you again. You better be fucking careful, buddy.
I mean, that is a pretty
Be
edgy
careful.
tweet to come rampaging back from a 4-week ban or whatever.
TJ,
it was.
It was 1 week.
if I snap my fucking fingers, TJ, Twitter's gone, bitch.
Gone.